What's up, everybody? Let's get into a pretty decent week of training here. So this is Sunday lift, day after Port City Highland games. Got in and got bench in because it wasn't too abusive. I think it was 2 sets of 5x2 at 265, and then had the same one set of it in the slingshot at 315. Hit some pull-ups, did some other this, that, and the other, and started it off with some sheath bottoms-up pulls because my sheath has been just very bad. It's just because it's so new switching hands. It's like starting it all over again. It's crazy after 14 years to try to switch because of that left quad. So I'm going to have to break up this voiceover to try to go back and look at what the training log was because I'm behind. I've been trying to get caught up, so I'm trying to get this out now. This is going to be my warm-up stuff I did. This is Monday the 3rd. So this is this Jefferson curl to King squat. You see kind of working through a big range of motion, just trying to move my spine. One thing I worked with PT on is that my lower spine is pretty rigid comparatively. Not a lot of movement there. So just the years of kind of being a powerlifter and training rigidity, with a lot of the stuff that we do in the Highland Games, you have to be fluid and mobile. Here's some of this Omega handle landmine rotation. So working these in kind of slow and not let my feet or hips rotate, kind of trying to keep most of the motion through the upper body. I really feel like this attacks the same muscles I kind of feel when I throw hammer. So I kind of like mixing these in a warm up, and obviously not very heavy here, just a 5 kilo plate on there. Nothing too heavy, but I don't have footage of the actual lift on this day. But this is the warm up stuff I did. Sped these up just because they're sit-ups. Sit-ups are sit-ups. But once again, working a fuller range of motion. I never used to do so much full range of motion through my spine, and I've tried to incorporate it a little bit more. But coming up here, I have a clip, a picture of the whiteboard of the workout. I hit a little bit of shoulder rock because, once again, mobility work wins, especially when you're beat up and immobile. But here's the workout. So you see the first stuff at the top was this warm-up stuff. So we had snatches, 3 sets of 5x1 at 79 kilos. Squats, 3 sets of 5x1. Good mornings, an inverse curl, and some power runner. And you see some speeds in parentheses. Those don't go with those exact lifts. So this is now Thursday. So Tuesday, oh yeah, this is funny.
Well, that lasted
And
long.
tried, but it's broken. Tried to add a 5-pound plate. It broke on the very first throw to the 56. So my wob's been really bad this year. It's timing. It's just not being strong enough. Here's a bunch of pulls. I'll talk about some other things. So Tuesday was going to train, but it rained, and I was at work. I was going to throw, but it caught in a ton of raining. So I actually went out and did like kind of my mobility. Not a ton of mobility, but let's call it like the jump series, the athletic warm-up. Some bouncing, high knees, bounding, and broad jumps and stuff like that. Kind of went through all that. And then actually jogged a mile randomly. Very slow, but just kind of went out and got it done. The rain had stopped. It was just one of those, like, it was late. So kind of got it done. Did some mobility work that night when we were doing that too, for a good long while afterwards, all that. But here was a bunch of wob, and it probably didn't go good, I'm assuming. Obviously, it depends on how you orient the phone, how it works on YouTube versus what you're able to see here, whether or not it's clearing. And it's always been that way for me. I don't know, wob sucks, so there's not a lot to actually go over, to be honest. So it's not my best event. Very frustrating day. I remember throwing it a ton. I think I did like 4 sets of 5 actually tried to do like sets and reps on it, like 5 reps, and then took a little bit more of a break. So I probably take about a minute in between each of those throws. And then the 5 sets of 5, I was taking more. Now this was a new one that I'm going to start pushing. And one thing I gotta see how I'm going to do with this, but this is a short handle hammer. Yeah, I don't really have much to say. I threw it. It's slow. It was very slow, obviously, watching that. This is a 22, so heavy hammer. And it started to click there a little bit, but no, don't have a lot to say or comment on yet, because I haven't used it very much or trained it very much, and I don't know how I completely feel about it, to be honest. The second time throwing it felt way better than the first, but I don't know if it's too different. So like I said, not a lot of comment on it. I think I took 10 throws with it here. Yeah, just have some fun watching some hammer footage that looks a little different because it's so much shorter. The release was a little funny on me a little bit. And yeah, they don't always go good. So there you go, throwing one in the dirt because I was going to lose it. It feels like it comes out really low. So here's that workout as well. I didn't finish filming everything. So did some jumps, prowler as usual, daily prowler, cleans, deadlifts, and speed bench. I did not do the push press at the end. I was just a little spent. So we do have those lifts here. So here's the cleans, beltless, working power, peak velocity. So I've been playing with looking at some things a little different. I've always looked at peak velocity and Olympic lifts. So these are clusters, so I tried to cut out the cluster in between, or sped up here, the rest in between. And I think I cut it out completely on most of the deadlifts. But I have different goal numbers in the peak velocities, and I'm just not as good as I used to. And I need to do a little better job of trying to have it written down and recorded on what I can hit here and there to like know when I show up that day what to hit. One I did see recently is that Ryan Crouser looked at peak power and wattage with some stuff, so I may start looking at that a little more. I've never really looked at watts, but watts will give you a correlation. So I can look at peak velocity all the time, no matter the lift, but it's going to vary based off the weight. And so I have to chase the speed at a certain weight, but with a wattage, it's going to calculate the load times the speed. So based off my loading, I can always chase the highest wattage. It would be something I might try differently, and just to have in my head. So here, I actually left the rest in there. I basically did these sets, these quote unquote clusters, every 30 seconds was 2 reps, 5 sets of 2, and this is like 335, I think. I didn't cut out all the rest. I sped it up here, but just try to get in reps to get strong. Deadlift doesn't feel very strong. I've been feeling very nervy deadlifting. So this is, I guess this was Thursday's lift. Yeah, this was Thursday's lift. So hit the speed bench here just because I know the setup here at the gym, the right band tensions and weights and everything. And then my Friday lift, I don't have anything. I hit some push presses and some random shoulder work, nothing too crazy. But I did throw, this is Saturday, so I'm not including the footage we hosted the Arm Lifting USA Super Series Part 1 on Saturday, June 8th. It was a fun little comp, and then I actually stayed after the comp got done. Thanks to my pops for out there hanging, shagging. But through, I think it was 10 heavyweights and 10 lightweights, and I think it was lightweight first. I wasn't going to throw heavy. Yeah, that's right. But it went all right. It went better than I expected. I was just going to go out and knock the rust off, kind of, quote unquote, just go through the motions. But it started, I actually tried, you can hear me grunting a little bit more. I tried a little harder because it was going well. And that's when you know, like, things are going good. And now it's funny, now I watch back at these and I can see some things that I was doing that I'm doing different now already. Some of the ways to accelerate, where I'm pushing, what points of the weights I'm pushing, and I'll try to do some breakdown videos here shortly in the future. If you've listened this far, try to talk about a couple cues I've been working lately. But so 10 lightweights, I ended on a pretty good one, and heavyweight was a little bit more frustrating. I actually pulled the tape measure after we got done, and it went a little better than I expected. I thought it was going kind of shitty, and it actually ended up going better than I thought. But this is a short chain heavy, obviously, so yeah, this is going to end this video here shortly here after these heavyweight footages. You'll just see some that look worse than others. I was releasing early a little bit, not getting around. But this was after the grip comp. It was sunny, obviously hot, already a long morning after work and a grip competition. So yeah, it's a good week, very solid week all around, I guess. I can't argue much. And we'll bring you the next week's footage, hopefully very soon. I'm trying to get a bunch of these out. We got bigger and bigger things coming up. So thank you guys for watching this far. If you actually watch this far and you're not subscribed, you should be a subscriber. So go click that subscribe button. And always leave some comments, give some thumbs up. If you guys don't do that, the videos don't get seen as much. So I appreciate it. And if you've watched this far, you might care a little bit more than others. So Much love to the Highland Games family. I hope you get something out of it, and we'll talk to y'all soon.